Okay, no problem. And what else? I'm a mother of two boys, two teenagers, and I own a nonprofit. I'm CEO of a nonprofit called MISLA, Made in South LA, where we train at-risk youth, well, just youth in general, in all things tech, so multimedia and digital marketing. And we have started to place some of our actually adults and youth actually in some jobs, adults in some six-figure salary jobs, which I'll share some of those in a bit. What else? And I have a social enterprise called Marty, Making a Reality That's Yours, where once we train the youth, we hire some of them. And what Marty does is more affordable cost web development and social media marketing and digital marketing for mostly South LA businesses, but businesses abroad. And yeah, that is the quick rundown on me. So, what I want to talk about, and feel free to make this a collective discussion, put questions in the chat, and I'll make sure to get to them and answer them. But some of the things I want to talk about are specifically, there's all these like careers in technology that everyone's learning and talking about. And one of the main things is like the engineer, the software engineer. So I did a boot camp for that. And it was a 6-month boot camp. I got a scholarship. It's $15,000. That's how much they generally cost. I got a scholarship to go. I applied at literally every boot camp in Southern California because I was like, hello, like I'm gonna do great things with this. I'm gonna change the world. Like, y'all need to give me a scholarship. Only two boot camps. And I mean, I was like assertively emailing and calling these boot camps. Like, no, I thought you cared about diversity and inclusion. And this is, in 2018. So this is before the whole Black Lives Matter really popped off, but still they were singing the song of diversity and inclusion. But only two gave me a scholarship, which one was Galvanized in San Francisco, and the other one was Code District out of Torrance. So I took Code District because much closer than San Francisco. So I was very grateful for that. But yeah, I mean, that was hard. Software engineering is not easy at all. Especially for an adult woman, I feel like it's easier for kids because they don't know the rules of life. Like software engineering, I don't know who wrote these rules, but they make no sense. Like 1 + 1 is 11, okay, in JavaScript. So there's that. So yeah, it's hard, but one thing that I want to get across to some of you parents and adults here on the call is there's a million jobs in technology, and technology and multimedia go hand in hand. So whatever you're passionate about, trust there is a technology component attached to it. Like if you're into basketball, like there's data science around like the whole world of sports and like sports gambling, and like you get paid $250,000 a year to work with sports gambling and run the data science or data behind that. There's so many careers. I mean, and I feel like specifically in our communities, it's just intentionally not taught, not told. The whole like movement for the software engineer boot camp is kind of like a little trick because software engineering is really difficult, and so I think a lot of people are they're going after these boot camps and they're like, wow, this is just too hard. I'm gonna go back to doing whatever else, forget about technology, when there's these extra careers. So I'm gonna share my screen to talk about some of the additional careers that are not talked about. There's not a lot of boot camps, but we're going to be doing some of those soon. Hold on, let me get my screen live together. I think I put it here. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about is a UX designer. So a UX designer is a user experience designer or user experience engineer. I want you to look here at some of, wait, hold on, let me close this, at some of the salaries. The low is 80K. That is a starting salary for a UX designer. The high here says 163, but technically, I know people in UX making $280,000 a year. User experience. It's like a little thing no one mentions, no one talks about it. You don't have to code at all, but you do. You know what you do need to be good at is you need to be good at graphics, perhaps. If you're a graphic designer, if you're good at graphics, some of the things that we do in UX is comes from like graphics. So UX is like user experience, and it goes hand in hand with what's called user interface. So this right here, literally what we're looking at is user experience, is UX. Someone designed all these words, how they go, each one of these little drop downs, from the color to like these boxes. Like this was a UX designer who probably got paid $180,000 a year to design this out. It's really not that difficult, like it's, you just have to learn it, and the most difficult part, I think, of getting into technology is one, just getting past your own brain, but two is the vernacular. I literally have I had our intern create a sheet of industry vernacular, which I'm going to make a note because I can share that sheet with you guys, of like all the acronyms. There's like 800,000 acronyms in technology, such as UI, UX, and you just kind of feel stupid because you don't know all these, but that is something that can be learned very easily. Right, Rebecca? So how much time do I have, by the way? I want to make sure to not go over time.
And we go through to 7, but if you go a little bit over, that's fine.
Okay. Is there Q&A?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so that is user experience. And yeah, to get into that, there's not as many boot camps, but there, just Google like user experience UX boot camps if you're good at graphics or like business. User experience, a lot of times business analysts work either directly with UX designers or they are UX designers. So someone who has a lot of experience as a business consultant, a business analyst, and that's even another career that look, we can look this up together, as a team. Business analysts in tech. Let's see how much are they making at it. Oh yeah, and I did. I have a million jobs, because I don't know why. It just kind of happens. And what, you can only turn down so much money so many times before you're like, okay, fine, I'll take that job too. So I am should I let in this person here, or you're gonna do it, Rebecca?
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So I am a lead product. I'm the lead product at Fattest. Fattest is a software development company. We build multi-million-dollar product. Basically, it's like a website like this. Like this is a website, but this is actually called product because it's more than just a web. This thing costs, $2 million a year, probably, to build out and manage and maintain. On the low, if I was to guess how much Glassdoor spends on their on this product, yeah, it's probably like 5 million a year or something like that. Like this is not a normal website. It's a product. This makes them millions of dollars. This probably makes them 20 million a month, some insane amount. So that's why they pay you so much, because they're making so much and they're spending so much. So yeah, business analyst, no coding. As I mentioned, okay, so project manager. This is another one. I think I opened it up here. Okay, project manager, also no coding. Definitely helps. I would suggest to take a coding class, because you might be good at it, you might enjoy it. But if not, then there's so many ways you can go. People respect that, and you just kind of learn. It's like the hardest part of tech is software engineering. And so once you kind of get past that, everything else is super easy. So if you took a software engineering boot camp and you're like, that was insane, I don't ever want to do that in my life, which is what I pretty much said. I was like, I'm definitely not doing this for a living, but I can definitely build a website. That's awesome. I feel like I will always have a way to make money. If you can build a website that makes money, you're pretty golden in life, and don't have marketing skills on top of that. So let's talk about project manager. So a project manager is someone who manages all the engineers. So I was literally like the worst in my class. Like my teacher literally, I mean, jokingly, I mean, this is the tech industry. They have very dry humor. Funny that I was so bad at programming, but I was so like passionate about it, even though I was terrible. I was really having a good time when I did get my code to work. So they literally called me like the weakest link. But because I was the worst coder, but I was always like the leader. Like I always like collected everybody and like managed the team and was like, okay, you're gonna do the UX. You got the front end, you got the back end. You do this, you do that, and I think my instructor saw that in me, and I was one of the first people that he offered me a job, fresh out of coding camp, because he worked at Deutsch, which is a really big firm. I think he worked at Deutsche at the time, or it might have been BCG Ventures, but I declined it actually because I wanted to work with do my community work and teach kids to code. Honestly, I just didn't want to make more millionaires. I didn't want to I didn't want to make rich people richer, So I went into teaching kids to code with Misla, made in South LA, which is this is our website. This is our portfolio. All these websites were done by youth, children ages 10 and up, and apps as well. And very proud of what we did there. But going back to the project manager position, so a project manager manages the team. They have boot camps that are about 3 months for about $3,500. Product school is a really good one. A project manager can make anywhere between, well, it says 55K, but I don't know. That's not, I don't know anybody that makes anywhere near. I started at like 114. That was my first like project manager job. So to 200K, that's about, I would say average project managers, I mean, it says 100K. I don't know. I feel like it's more like 120. But yeah, and no coding involved. You just have to be really, really organized. It's really good to know about how engineering works, because you can become a product manager, which, let's see if we can look that up real quick. Product manager is the more technical person. Project manager manages people, don't know code. A product, oh, hold on, I'll do it this way. Product manager they usually make more money. I don't know what this is going to tell us, but cap. But no, it's 200, 250 for a product manager. So if you were to train as a software engineer, said, no, I don't like it, you could be a product manager or a technical product manager because you understand how it all works and you're able to there's you need to understand how it all works to be a product manager or technical product manager, which pays higher. But remember, UX UI is pretty much at the top, and that can move into like product ownership, like that can move into like the executive space, like a VP, the CEO spot, so don't sleep on UX UI. Like everybody wants to like forget about that. And then of course, software engineering, I $500,000 makes half a year. I know an engineer at Google, he makes half a million a year. That's just crazy. you know so here it says the average is 129, the max is 235. But yeah, lead engineers though, their max is about half a million. And so yeah, as far as engineering, that's what I want to talk about. What time is it? Okay, 6:30. So let's see. You guys want to learn about multimedia? I don't have as much because multimedia is like, I think we all know the jobs in multimedia. It's not like a big secret. It's not as difficult to get into. There's film, there's we live in LA, so everybody has a family member or a friend that is in the entertainment industry, that is in media. So I think it's a little easier to touch, um, and it is also associated with marketing. So there's just so many roles. I would just say one great way to get into an industry, any industry that you really want to get into that you have you don't know anyone, is just to offer to help. Who's not a lot of people turning down free work, good free. I mean, I turn down free work for sure because some people are just, it's like, it takes a lot to train people. Like if somebody offers you help and they have no experience, that means I have to train you. So I can't always take the free work. I would take free work from someone who's trained and a self-starter, because they want to just get their foot in the door, and then when you've worked for certain businesses, especially kind of up and coming startups, and you have that on your resume, even if you just interned, you were a volunteer, it looks really good on your resume. And then it's just that experience and that network. And if you rocked it, they're gonna make a job for you. My executive assistant, she volunteered to 2 years ago, I think, or was it last year? 1 or 2 years ago, she volunteered to help with a summer boot camp, and I just couldn't live without her. I found the money to pay her beyond that boot camp. So it's a good, if you're good at what you do and you want to go into a whole other industry, you just volunteer. That's what I usually do when I want to change complete careers. Like I'll just like go work for free and be as much of an asset as I can. Like I have no marketing. For example, I want to partner with a winery in Italy, right? Like this is a real thing that I'm going to do. I know nothing about winery. I am not that person. However, I do know a lot about marketing and web development. So my plan is to say, hey, I have this to offer. I'll offer for free in exchange for a partnership to work with you guys, so that's something that they can sink their teeth into and probably say, oh, that's a good deal, and let's teach her everything we know about wines. She's going to teach us about marketing and web development. So yeah, whatever your skill is, you could take that to someone, and trade, or you're just a hard worker and super organized and fearless. Fearlessness is the top of the list with skill sets, because a lot of people are really scared. They're scared to make mistakes. They're scared to make phone calls. They're scared to, it's hard to get people who are fearless. And those are the top people that I look for in students or and adults, are just those who are just really not afraid to fall down, make mistakes, and they're okay at getting hard advice, I guess you could say. Constructive criticism, it's actually quite painful. My mentors are really hard on me, really hard on me, and it's like I almost want to cry sometimes when they talk to me, because they're basically telling me all the things I'm doing wrong, which is true, and I know it, like, it's mostly right, but they do tell me what I'm doing right, of course, but um that's probably one of the hardest parts of really elevating, because when you're elevating, you don't know what you're doing. And so if you have the proper mentors, they're telling you all the things you're doing wrong. And it's just, it kind of sucks, like, who wants to hear all the things they're doing wrong all day, every day, but you're hearing all the things you're doing wrong, and here's the ways to do them right. And a lot of times we don't want to hear that. We're just like, no, I'm doing this, but clearly you're there for a reason. You're volunteering to grow. So you have to be open to hearing others who have been doing certain things longer tell you how you can do it better, how you can possibly improve. You have to be really open to that and okay with constructive criticism, because a lot of people aren't, and they get really defensive, and it's hard. I always have to get my mind right every time I go have a meeting with a mentor, because it's like, one hand they're a mentor, they're sweet and they're elevating and they're like giving good job, go, go. And the other hand, they're like, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That sucked. What were you thinking? And so you're just like, I feel slow. I don't feel so smart anymore. So it's a balance. Yeah, I think that is the story of the quick rundown of my tech life and what I wanted to share with you, as far as um, the tech industry and the multimedia industry. As far as getting in on some of our boot camps, you can, let's see, these are for MISLA is mostly for youth. But if you sign up and write in the line that you want to be a mentor, let's see. If you write like your name and mentor next to it, then we'll know that. Or here you can put other and mentor if you sign up, and then we'll see about being a mentor. Also, though, if you go to marty.world, actually we have a mentor sign up sheet right here. Marty.world, and you can sign up there to be a mentor. And so what happens as a mentor, you get fingerprinted and everything, but you can take the classes with our youth right along and learn all the coding. We have a JavaScript class coming up. We have a robotics class, a real estate and financial literacy class. We have we're building an app, probably in the fall though. We're building an app for mental health, and the students and mentors and staff, whoever works on that app, and we'll choose like kind of like the creme de la creme from the other classes. And by creme de la creme, I don't mean the best coders, I mean the most driven. I mean the most fearless. You don't have to be the best at that skill, but you have to be the most driven. You want it, you're willing to do whatever to just get into the industry. So we're going to choose kind of the top and do this app, and everyone who works in the app will get paid and have ownership of the app. So some points, which is how we build generational wealth in our communities, is ownership. So everything we do has an ownership component. We're doing a animated short with our youth and some of our mentors and volunteers, in which everybody involved in the animated short will have ownership, and that's with a animation studio in Canada. So those are some of the things that we do in addition to like just the basic boot camps. We're building things, film, webcast, podcast, a lot of things happening. So I think we're a fun crew to get to know and be friends with, because it is all about who you know. So I'm going to stop sharing now and look and see if you guys had questions in
I
the
have a
chat.
question for you.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about the age range for your boot camp, the youth?
Okay. So now that it's virtual, well, because of virtual, we went to 12. We started at 10. 10 and up in person was easy breezy, no problems. But 10 in virtual, it didn't quite work out. So we had to move up to age 12, well, middle school, basically. So middle school and up, there's really no cap. We have because they can always take it as a mentor. So, and we have some mentors. I don't know if you know Avis Ridley Thomas, Mark Ridley Thomas's wife. She takes all of our classes. We love her so much. And she takes them. She mentors, yes, but she's like in it. Like she's a student in the class. And she's amazing. I think I don't know, she's definitely a senior citizen, but she's so amazing. So yeah, there's no age cat top, but we start at 12.
And how long do the workshop how long do the boot camps normally run?
It varies. So I think I mean, there could be a 1 day workshop, but normally, like our summer boot camps are like 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Our immersives are 3 months. Like we have a tech sales immersive coming up. That's for 18 and over. And that one is a scholarship. Some of them are like, well, most of them are like scholarships, basically, because they have a cost normally, but we're able to subsidize some of our grants or donations that we receive. Like Microsoft gave Missla a donation recently. Annenberg gave Vermont Slauson a donation. So these are some of the donations we're able to leverage and give scholarships. So this, like the tech sales, is with a partner called Gritly, and that one is 3 months, and it trains you in tech to be in tech sales, which is yet another career path. And they place pretty much, I think it's like 98% of the students they place in jobs, and the jobs start at $45,000 a year. And so we'll be doing that in the fall. And then what other? We have a Hawk Media is one of our partners, and they're one of the like biggest, baddest multimedia firms in Silicon Beach. And we do a 3 month immersive called Fly Forward Academy, and that one is mostly for youth, 12 and up. But I think we had like 40% adults in the last class because it's just such good information, and a lot of the adults moved on to Marty, our social enterprise, and are working for us at Marty. And they mentor and train. They mentor and they work directly with the youth, and kind of managing them in our like social media marketing efforts. So yeah, I think 3 months is the top so far. I don't think we have anything longer than that right now.
There's some questions in the chat about how do you sign up and what boot camps are offered right now for the youth?
Um, for the youth, okay, let me go back to. So you go to misla.org. And go to boot camps. And new students would sign up here. This is for returning students. So you just sign up there. You'd want to do that right away. Our boot camps technically start next week. However, we just added one that started today. But that one is 6 weeks. It's okay that you missed today. But yeah, so here are some of our camps. We have JavaScript for kids, crashed by adults. It's supposed to say crash because it's kids and adults are crashing. I had so many adults that are actually taking engineering classes say, please, can I take that class? Because JavaScript is really hard and you have kids teaching it. Like that's gotta be a whole nother angle. So yeah, this is taught by a 17-year-old, Cameron Smith. Engineering and design. This started already. I think this may be over. Real Estate 101 it says June 21st, but that is starting next week. Build Your Own Website is starting up. So basically, once you sign up here, you'll get all the information. And once you go to orientation and you pretty much register for your classes, then we have a Snapchat Lens Academy happening coming up. And this is the Gritly Tech Sales I was telling you about, starting in the fall. It says August 30th. That's the end of, so it's like kind of fall-ish. And that is the one for 18 plus. So those are some of the boot camps. They're not even all on there. We have a stunt one that just like people just call us and they're like, hey, will you partner with us on this boot camp? We're like, okay, cool. That sounds cool. Stunt, like to be a stunt double. That actually started last Friday. That started Friday. So that one's for young girls, to be a stunt double. Sounds so cool. I want to take that class, but I'm not going to be a stunt double. Like, like I don't
So
ever.
cool.
It sounds so cool though. I was like, hey, you never know when you need this. If I had time, I would totally take that class. I'd totally be like, can I mentor? Can I volunteer? What can I do?
So you said that some of our parents could like take one of the classes with their student if they sign up as a mentor.
Yeah, so they just sign up here, and they would sign up their students separately, and then here put I don't know. I feel like they should do it in both places. Put mentor, youth names. Or, actually, if they're going to sign up with their kid, they can sign up their child and then put just a little message like parent would like to mentor. Because
Okay.
it's good to have it in two places. This is one place. And then the other place I was telling you about was at Marty.world. I can put the link in the chat too. This is the actual link to sign up. Oh, I can't get to the chat right now.
It's just Marty.world.
Yeah, just Marty.world. Marty.world, and here it says mentor. Here it says youth, but here it says mentor for the adults. And that's where you sign up to be a mentor. So Marty is a social enterprise that we run. And MISLA is the nonprofit. So, yep, that's how you do it. Any other questions? Here, let me stop sharing so I can see the question. Oh, yeah, thanks for putting those in the chat.
Of course. Did I spell them correctly?
Yep. Yep, perfect. And yes, the classes are being offered right now. Yes, absolutely, Latinx youth. It's anyone is considered for the scholarship. It's specifically for disinvested communities. Those are like who we, if we have a limitation and we have to say, oh, we can only choose 20, we would probably choose focus maybe on foster students, kind of like those who need it most, like maybe reentry individuals, or whoever just wrote the most compelling, application. Because a lot of times, I think that's who I choose. Me. I mean, we have a team who chooses who gets the scholarships, but me personally, I choose the most compelling. The very last question is, I think, like, why do you want to do this? And that's, I'm like, oh my God, this is my person. Like, just like, you could just tell the passion, like anybody that's super passionate, like I'm just, I want to change the world. I want to do, that's how I personally decide who gets to come kick it with us. Because you want somebody that's going to do something with this. This is a great opportunity, and we are definitely, this is history in the making. What we're doing here in South Central LA. Our whole team is from South Central. I'm born in Inglewood, but have lived a lot in South LA. But the rest of the team is literally born and raised in South Central LA. So it's so cool to see, UX engineers, software engineers, CEOs, VPs, people that look like those in that community, in these disinvested communities like Watson, Compton, and Long Beach. We teach in all different areas, and we teach in the some of the community projects. I can't think there's a better word to say than projects, but we teach in the projects. um, and I think it means a lot to those kids. It makes it really touchable, to see a little girl that looks like me, same kind of hair. And she's like, oh, you do this? I can do that. That means I can do that. You come from here, I can do that. It means a lot. I know it meant a lot to me to see those that look like me kind of moving and grooving in major spaces, because, white supremacy is real. That was a real thing. so I think somebody else left something in the chat. Thank you for the information. You're welcome, Kay Matthews. I hope to see your daughters soon. They will love it. We're a little late in getting this out, the boot camps, and I've had lots of parents and kids calling me like stalking, like, where's our boot camps? I'm like, hey, oh, give me a second. We had to get the money together. Just like, barely get the money. Okay. So yeah, I love what I do. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that, for all intents and purposes, I have made it. I've made it in America. I was a homeless teen. I know what it's like to sleep on cardboard boxes. It's definitely better than the concrete. I'll tell you that. A cardboard box to a homeless person is a mattress. Okay. So I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to sleep on a bus stop bench and to be hungry and not know how you're going to eat, the next day. And I was a good kid. I just had bad circumstances, bad, just born into poverty and born into, just bad situation. So it can happen to anybody. And I'm just super grateful that I'm here and that I can give back and I can help others. So I have a very personal relationship with most of the kids. Definitely there's a good 20 kids and parents, because if the kid doesn't show up, I'm calling your mama. you know, and then just, yeah, anybody, this is my life. Like anybody from my community, meaning like, disinvested, come from nothing, and you want to get into this tech space, I'm always down to help in some way, shape, or form, especially people that are really trying to make moves, but you got to go out and get it. You can't just sit there and wait on it to come to you. You have to just move and continue to grow and move. And one day, I was driving I got a car wreck and my car was literally smashed in, but I had to drive it to my boot camp and everybody made fun of me. But I had to do what I was going to finish that 6-month boot camp. And I did. And I just remember how hard it was. I worked 8 hours and then I worked another 4 hours on that boot camp, 6 to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Was that boot camp. It was one of the hardest, most challenging things I ever did in my life. And I'm so glad I did, because tech is here to stay. And the amount of money, it's interesting because it's really not about the money, but there's so much money, but it's not even about that. It's like the community is so supportive and like game changers. People are changing the world. Some of the apps I'm working on are literally changing people's lives. And that is so awesome, and you get paid more than a living wage. You get paid great living wage and can take care of your family and make investments. I got a portfolio now, I got a financial advisor, it's amazing. And 2018 wasn't that long ago when I really, really got into it. So any other questions? I think we're coming to an end here.
I would love to ask just one more question. You talked briefly about your mentors at that like are very real with you and kind of tell you what you need to hear, maybe not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. What
Mhm.
would you recommend for our youth and the kids to like put themselves out there and even ask for a mentor?
Um, honestly, if you're doing the right thing, you don't ask for a mentor. Like it just mentors just come. I literally I remember one time asking for a mentor and the woman flat told me no. I I asked this woman, beautiful sister. I remember she had locks and she gave this speech. It was so compelling. And I was like, "Oh, will you be my mentor?" She was like, "No." She flat said no. I was like, okay. And so I don't think that scared me from asking anyone to be my mentor. They just sort of happen. When you're doing what you're supposed to do, you know, it's like you look up and you have a mentor. I mentor, there's a kid named Armonti who is just a go-getter, and he's been with us since he was 17, I think now he's 22. um and I never really had the talk of I'm going to be your mentor, but all I know is when he speaks about me, he's like, yeah, Cassie, she mentors me, and I'm like, oh, he's my mentee, like it just kind of happened. It wasn't like a contractual obligation or anything. It just sort of like you look up and you're asking this person for advice, you're meeting once a week or once a month or whatever it might be. Yeah, my mentors, I don't even know how it happened. It just kind of, they were like, I'm going to be your mentor. Or this one woman actually stalked me for a year. I was like, I didn't know what was wrong with her. thought there was I thought she was like kind of crazy because I was like, why does she call me so much? Why does she, like, she kept calling me and wanting to do lunch and I didn't understand what she wanted. I was really confused. I never had anybody be that aggressive to be my mentor. She said she saw in me, she felt like I was gonna be like the next Black female billionaire. So she was just like, this is who I'm gonna mentor because, a lot of times people are older and they've kind of been there, done that, and they don't want to do the legwork anymore. They don't want to do all that hustle, you know? So they're looking for somebody younger that can like do all the work really and like finish making their dreams come true, or that they can just pass down the knowledge. They made millions and billions and now they just want to, kind of keep their legacy going because all the people that I've mentored, I feel like I make them really proud. It's a little piece of them that I give to the world. And that's what I hope my mentees do too moving forward. I mentor the kids I mentor are amazing. And I know they're going to make me proud one day. I mean, they already do. They already do make me proud. Just graduating, and there's these girls in Jamaica that I mentor. They're doing what I'm doing here. They're starting like boot camps, and I'm literally in tears, like just thinking about them. They're awesome. So yeah, just you do what you're supposed to do, which is just to move to the next step. You don't need money to make moves. You just need drive. You just need to go. Whatever skills you have, you don't need money to train other people in these skills. I didn't have money when I started teaching kids to code. I didn't even know how to code when I started teaching kids to code. I was just doing it from Code Academy and I was learning too. I was learning at the same time. I'm like, I don't know, girl, let's do it together. Yeah. So, but it's, yeah. So mentors, just keep doing what you're supposed to do. They'll find you.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've taken up a lot of the question time. Does anyone else have any questions that they want to ask? I mean, it's a great opportunity. You have like this amazing resource who is willing to share all of her wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah, maybe you want to come on camera and ask a question. See your beautiful faces. You know.
So, well, I will just keep moving forward. If you don't have anything, then maybe we could reach out later, or you could maybe send a message to me, Miss Naomi, Miss Christelle, We could reach out to Miss Betts to ask the question. You're just an amazing, inspirational woman. You're incredibly strong. You're killing it. And I think that all of the parents at the Wooten Center it would just be such a joy and a privilege to work with you. So hopefully you see some Wooten kids coming your way very soon.
I hope so. Definitely tell them to let us know.
Yeah,
And
we'll get in there.
I can be reached at I'm on Instagram at instabets. Here, I'll type it in the chat. Instabets. That's probably one of the best ways to keep up with me. I always post about any boot camps we have, any scholarships. Also, I'm on Facebook, under my name, Cassie Betts, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom with us tonight.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
It's been such a pleasure listening to you, hearing how you just are all over the place and you're not even breaking a sweat. I'm like, what the heck am I doing with my time? I'm not doing half as much as you.
Every day I'm just like, I gotta cut something off. Like I gotta stop one thing, just one thing. And I can never figure out which one that should be, and they're all related. That's the good part.
Yeah.
They're all like very closely knit together. It's not like I'm over here doing, bioscience or something. They're all like right here. But I don't know.
You're doing all the stuff that I can't because coding, graphic design, all of that stuff is like a foreign language. It is a foreign language, right? I don't speak it. I think that it's great that you're giving these kids the leg up because you're right. Technology is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It goes into every single industry, from medicine to public health to entertainment, like you said. So
everything, even the winery I'm gonna partner with.
I love that. I love that you have those goals. Like, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna figure it out.
Those are my next goals are Italy, like winery, like some type of investment in Italy where I'm like working and partnering with like someone in southern Italy. I'm actually learning Italian. I've been studying Italian for a year now. So
wow.
Yeah.
You're like everything we all want to be. Well, thank you. Yes. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Missla.com, Marty.world.
Missla.org, Marty.world.
Marty.world. Parents can maybe do the workshop, the boot camps, if they sign up as a mentor. And you said starting middle school.
Yep. Starting at
Sounds good. Thank you so much for being here. And if it's okay with you all, as always, as the COVID-19 health educator, I want to share with you some great resources from the County of Los Angeles and from our wonderful donor, the Green Foundation. The risk of COVID-19 is still present and the virus is still deadly. Anyone who does not get sick needs to take steps to prevent spreading it. Anyone who does get sick needs to take steps to prevent spreading it to others by getting tested, staying home, and keeping distant from others. There are still many free COVID-19 testing sites available. Go to covid19.lacounty.gov for more information on appointments and walk-up sites as well. Also, beware that there are some scams around the COVID-19 vaccine that are going around asking you to take part in a survey. If you get an email or a text asking you to participate, don't click on any of the links or the attachments, which can install harmful malware to your devices. And don't call or text any numbers that it asks you to. There are no legitimate surveys about the vaccine right now. And anyone asking you for your information, whether it's your bank, credit card, or other personal information, just know that it's probably a scam. Ignore it, delete it, don't open it, leave it alone. And lastly, as always, if you need any COVID-19 related support services, our partner, the Green Foundation, is a great resource. please contact them by calling the number 323-229-3411 or emailing them at info@thegreenfoundation.net. And this is COVID related, no questions asked. If you show a positive result and you say you need support, you reach out to them and they'll give you the support, the financial support you need. So as always, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you to our wonderful speaker for inspiring us to do more, be better, go out there and kill it every day. And we hope to see you all soon.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Miss Betts.
Bye.